All right, so we are in our Christmas Around the World folder, and we are on the 12 Days of Christmas country song. So I want to walk you guys through how you're going to use the information here. So basically, you're going to be choosing a country that you want to learn more about their Christmas celebration, okay? And so here you have what country are you choosing, and once that country is chosen, no one else can choose it. Okay, so what country, what's the general location of where it's located, and then what's the climate weather like during the Christmas season, and when are they celebrating Christmas, okay, because not everybody celebrates Christmas at the same time. So next, looking at how do they say Merry Christmas, how do they say that, what are some typical Christmas decorations, what about their gift giving, do they put the gifts in a special place, do they give a certain amount on a certain day, then tell me about Santa. Who's their Santa? Is there a certain figure? Does somebody deliver gifts? Do they have magical powers? Are there any animals that are used during the Christmas holiday in the place that you're looking at? Then what are some of their typical Christmas foods and drinks and some holiday traditions celebrated in your country? Then you have this brainstorm chart where you're going to just think of adjectives, nouns, and ing, and I'm going to explain that a little bit more in just a second. Then you're going to use all of this information to help you start creating a Christmas song. Okay, your Christmas song is the 12 Days of Christmas. So I'm sure you've all heard of the 12 Days of Christmas and the song that goes with it. So if you go back to Christmas Around the World, I'm actually going to put a link to this in the actual activity so you don't have to go back and forth. You have this file that is for Christmas Around the World resources. So the two that I believe are the most helpful are Why Christmas and SantaNet. Now, the Say Merry Christmas is actually from SantaNet, but it's just the page for doing the Merry Christmas. So I did the United States so that you guys could see a model. So here is my document on the left and the Christmas Around the resources on the right. So if I choose the Why Christmas and go to the Why Christmas site, you'll see that there is a place for me to choose United States. So I chose the USA, and then I read through this information. Okay, so I was looking for anything that applied to my questions. And then once I found something, I had to kind of put it in my own words. Okay, so what country did I choose? I chose the United States. Here, this is talking about traditional meal. So I scrolled down to the question where it talked about the traditional meal. Typical foods or drinks. This one says they do turkey or ham with cranberry sauce. So I put traditional meal, usually ham or turkey. And then they talked about some other people like Eastern Europeaners and what they do for Christmas. And they go on to talk about the Italian Americans, because we are such a melting pot. We have so many different cultures here. So I try to keep it with the most basic. So I put turkey or ham in mine. And then it says here that they use popcorn threaded on a string to decorate the Christmas tree. So I went back up here to where it talked about Christmas decorations. So, of course, I put Christmas tree. I added gingerbread houses. And I used the popcorn threaded on a string. And then if you read on, it says eggnog is a traditional Christmas drink. So I then went back to the food section where I put people like to drink eggnog. Okay. And then keep looking through it. Okay, so celebrating through church, Christmas carols, where they tell the story of what happened with Jesus. And then it goes on to tell you like some things in the northern part, like in the northeastern part, Christmas cards, carol singing, and then the Christmas pickle. And I could have put that here, which I didn't. So I might even click here and see what is this tradition. It says that the Woolworth store started selling glass ornaments imported from Germany, shaped as various fruits or vegetables. And so the pickle was there. So people then began to do the Christmas pickle. It looks like it was a German tradition. And it was the last ornament that was hung on the tree. And then if you found the pickle, you got a present. So, most German people say they've never heard of the Christmas pickle, so they're not really sure how that came about. Okay, so there's some legends that you could read that's far-fetched stories, but so yeah, you could have put that here. I chose the Arizona Las Posadas and about how Hawaii has their Christmas tree ship that comes in every year, where Santa comes on a boat and brings a Christmas gift. So let me go back to where we were. And then I kept going. So talking about Christmas tree tells you a little bit about some of the Christmas festivals, when they first saw a tree in the house, how it was decorated, the selling of the Christmas trees, the first U.S. president with the Christmas tree, the first Christmas tree in the White House. And so just kind of a lot about Christmas trees. The Woolworth store, which is a store you guys don't know about, used to sell them, was one of the first stores to start selling them. Here's a custom called mumming, and it's in Philadelphia. It's called Mummers Day. So there's a lot of different things that you could have chosen. Here's one with luminaries, and in the Southwest with a lot of Mexican influence, they do luminaries where they put paper sacks, and the paper sacks you light those, and the light lights the way to help Mary and Joseph find a place to stay. Here it talks a little bit about tamales being a food in the Southwest, and something that happens in Louisiana with the French influence. Okay, so I perused through all of that, and then just the things that I thought that I wanted to use, I used. Okay, so then I went back to Santa's Net, and then from Santa Net, scroll down until you find Christmas in your country's name. So I went to the United States. Again, the same thing. I went through all of this reading here. It's not a lot. I went through all of the reading here, and I picked out the things that really apply to the United States. So with Santa Claus, there's quite a bit of information here that talks about how Santa Claus didn't really become important until 1809, when an author wrote about him in his book, and then really he didn't get his red and white and the reindeer and the sleigh until 1863. So it kind of, evolved. So I just summarized that. I just took out the important parts. Don't copy and paste this, because you're not going to be able to pick out the words that you need, because we're only picking words for this when we come down to the end. And then read on, I could have talked about these as some of the traditions of Pennsylvania and the Moravians, where they put puts. There's some stuff about fireworks, letting off fireworks, some things that happen in Alaska where they put a door on it and go door to door, how Boston has a huge caroling. And then here's where I got the Las Posadas and the Christmas tree ship. And so I put those as 2 of the 3 holiday traditions. So in Arizona, they do Las Posadas, which is basically the retelling of the story of Jesus and Mary and Joseph looking for a place for Mary to have baby Jesus or in the inn. And then the Hawaiian one was the Christmas tree ship. The Santa's coming over on a boat, bringing lots of Christmas goodies. Okay. And then if you go on, you can see that it talks more about dinner here. Again, they mention turkey. They talk a lot about dessert with like Christmas pudding, pies. So I could put any of those things under my section for food. So I just go back up here to where is the food section. Typical Christmas foods. I could put pies, pastries, pudding. Okay, so all of those are typical things that you would find. I didn't really put anything in here about church. I did talk about the exchanging of gifts and greetings, but you could put that down as a tradition even. That is a tradition for many to do, Mass or church service. Okay, so a lot of times people will go to Mass on Christmas Eve, midnight Mass. That's the, Christmas Eve, but then into Christmas Day. Here you see they have roast turkey, goose, duck, ham, cranberry sauce, plum pudding, pumpkin pie. All of those are things that I could put in my food. Their decorations, you got holly, mistletoe, Christmas tree, electric lights, tinsel, baubles, which we know as ornaments, strings of popcorn, candy canes. So I went up here to decorations and I added a bunch of those things in here. Ornaments, lights, lighting decorations on the outside and the inside, gingerbread houses. I added all of those there. For Merry Christmas, when I went to the link for Merry Christmas, there's not a United States. So I just put Merry Christmas, and a lot of people say Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas. I did find out that there's 2 homes in the United States for Santa. There's one in Torrington, Connecticut, and Santa's helpers give out presents, and another one in Wilmington, New York, which is a village for Santa and his reindeer. Okay, so once I've collected all my information, now I got to use this information to fill in this chart. So you're doing adjectives. These are words that describe. Then you're doing nouns. These are person, places, or things. And these are ing verbs, action words that you can add ing to. So let's take a look at my ing verbs first, because I think those are pretty easy. So like I talked about decorating, eating food, stringing popcorn, drinking eggnog, exchanging gifts, celebrating, singing carols, hanging, and then the mistletoe, that would be kissing. So you can keep going. And here's the thing, you can still change your mind even after you put these here. And then here are some of the nouns I found from the United States. Ham, eggnog, ornaments, Las Posadas, chimney, reindeer, sleigh, popcorn, Christmas tree, mistletoe, nativity, red suit. And some of my describing words are even over here too, like the red and whatnot. It describes what kind of suit, but it could be snowing. There's some magic, so magically. Wears a red suit, it can be cold out. We have some traditional. Gingerbread describes a type of house. Okay, so now here's the tricky part. So once you've taken a look at the 12 days of Christmas, on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. Okay, and then it keeps going. The second day is 2 things. The third day is 3 things, all the way to 12. Now we're not going to write it out like this every time. We're just going to write basically the first line that you're saying. Okay, so you're going to break it down. So I started looking at my things. I said, okay, well, we do gift exchanging in the United States, so I put 12 gifts exchanging. That's what we do with them. I put 11 ornaments, and I wanted hanging, but it doesn't sing well. So 12 gifts exchanging, 11 ornaments, hanging, a hanging. That's what we will be doing. So if you put the A dash hanging, that just means like you're in the act of doing that. And then eggnog, a drinking, so 10 eggnog, a drinking, 9 reindeer, a prancing. I actually didn't have prancing up here, and I asked my third period, hey, what's a good word for flying is what I had, reindeer flying. And somebody said prancing. I was like, I like it. So I chose prancing. And then 8 popcorn is stringing, and you see I still am thinking about my 7, 6. Now, when you get to 5, that's when it goes 5 golden rings. Okay, so what can you take from your story, your information that you collected, and make it your country? So I did, because we do lots and lots of lights, I did 5 twinkling lights. It doesn't have to have ing, it just has to describe whatever's here. 4 peppermint candy canes, 3 gingerbread houses, 2 Santa homesteads, and a star atop an evergreen tree. So this very last one is a sentence. Now, if you look at any of the 12 Days of Christmas songs, it's usually some sort of animal, bird, and some sort of tree. Well, I couldn't really think of a bird that represented our Christmas, so I went with that star atop the evergreen tree. So you take your research and you just break it down and move it around. So at first I had something else at reindeer, and then I was like, oh, well, if I put reindeer, I should put it at 9 because there's 9 reindeer. Okay, so you got to do some thinking as to what would work. Now, these relate to customs and traditions found in the United States. You are looking to embed your song with things, words, stuff that we're going to learn about your country. All right, so that's your task. Work with your partner. Come up with some good words and some good things that you can put to create a song of the 12 days of Christmas of the country you have selected.